I have always been an introverted homebody. I love my solitude. Like, even as a kid, I would be holed up in my room alone, probably in the dark, in front of the computer, playing Sims, playing other games, reading fan fiction, talking to people on AIM, just very much loved being alone. I was very much a hermit. Um, I had friends, like I was a part of a friend group, but I always felt like I was kind of like an outlier on in that friend group. Like I would have like one of my main people that I was the closest to who we would probably hang out alone most of the time, and then we would join in on like group settings from time to time. And it's kind of been this way, I would say, from middle school into college. Yeah, like I would be at the stuff, at the things, at the function, but I wasn't the one like making the plans, connecting at people. Like I always cringed when niggas would be like, you got any friends? Cause like, yes, but like, I don't know if I could like call them. Like, I don't know. Um, like when I was younger, I used to idolize things like Girlfriends and like Sex in the City because I just knew that that was going to be my experience in my 20s and in my 30s. Like I was ready, like going to brunch, having girl talk, dishing over relationships and our sex lives, going out for cocktails and just being bad bitches on one accord. Like that just seemed like the dream, right? But that was not my reality at all. Again, I've always had friends, but my circumstances with friends was always different. I moved away after college, like immediately after college. I graduated in May of 2015, and in like July of 2015, I was in a completely different city, setting my life up. And making friends was very hard. For one, I was in a city where there wasn't just like a lot of black people, like, and I didn't really know how to connect or find the black people, and I eventually found people that I kind of built friendships, but it was an ebb and flow. People came in and out of my life and in and out of the city. A lot of the friendships that I had made here had moved on, and it just kind of became this reoccurring theme that all of my friendships that I had built ended up being long distance. And while I do still feel loved and supported by those friendships, and I love those people, my friendships still leave a lot to be desired, because I don't know if this is like something that other people can relate to, but I'm a very IRL type of girly. Like, I'm not a phone person. I don't really love texting. I don't really like FaceTiming. I don't really like being on the phone in general. To be honest, I come home after a long day of working and I toss my phone who knows where. It goes sometimes in a drawer and it's on do not disturb. Sometimes I just leave it in my purse. Like the phone brings me a great deal of anxiety, I've realized over the years. Notifications, I have like all of my notifications turned off for like emails and like apps, like things like that. I cannot do it. And so with that being said, it can be difficult for me to ensure that my long distance relationships are prospering. And so that means that, and most of my friends are kind of like this anyway, like we can go periods without talking regularly, and then when we do talk, we catch up and we'll be on the phone for like hours. There's never any ill will that, we don't have constant communication, but because I can only talk about my own experience, and I will say that especially in this season of like healing and this spiritual growth and just evolving in my life, I have felt like growing and in this journey, there's a lot of isolation. And though I am somebody who has been an introverted homebody and loves my space and loves my solitude, I think that the one thing that I definitely want to work on is building community. And in this day and age, I don't really know how to fucking do that. I don't know. And especially because I want to be that girl who is like able to just pick up the phone and like call people and make plans. And, every once in a while I get the gumption to do so and like send out a text and invite somebody to brunch or, invite somebody over or make plans to go somewhere, But I don't know. It's just like outgoing calls just, ugh. But yeah, as I continue to move forward, like I said, in this healing and growth, I've just been yearning for community. I'm realizing that as my life has changed, though, so has the nature of my relationships. And it's like the way in which I've connected with people in the past and how I've showed up for them in the past, I'm starting to realize that has also changed. Something hit me yesterday. And before I say this, I'm going to preface this and say that I love my friends and I know they love me. But I have to be honest about my life and my circumstances and my perspective, even if it pisses somebody off. But my birthday is approaching. My birthday, is always an intensely reflective time, especially in the last few years with all that I've been dealing with and, going through. It's a lot of thoughts and feelings and emotional triggers. But in thinking about my birthday approaching, I was reminded that last year, the people that I considered the closest to me didn't even wish me happy birthday, like on my birthday. And like, yes, that is something very petty and childish sounding, but it holds weight for me. Last year I turned 30, and turning 30 is a milestone in itself. It's officially leaving your 20s behind and what I feel to really be like ushering in adulthood, because it's like your 20s is adulthood, but you still feel very much like a child. I don't know. It's really weird. And I feel like once you're out of your 20s, like you'll kind of understand what I mean. But yeah, like not only that, but it had been a full year since the whole situation with me being depressed and literally trying to unalive myself. And I'm realizing now that really hurt me, because I wanted support and recognition in that moment of, like, look how far you've come. And again, my friends have supported me in major ways. They have been there for me. But I realized that our relationships leave something to be desired. And especially now that I'm no longer in a relationship, I realize that there is another level of support and intimacy that I long for that I don't really feel like I have. I want something beyond the phone, beyond the online communities that I'm a part of. I want something genuine and in real life. And I don't know how to build that. I've done different things of Bumble BFF, and I've met some people on there that I really think are cool, but sometimes it's just like I feel like the effort isn't always matched, and I don't I don't think it's a problem for me to keep reaching out or trying to make plans or do things, you know. But like, if it's just me, like, that's just not the level of friendship or connection that I'm looking for. Ugh. I just feel like I need more. And it's okay for me to say that and it not be a slight to those who I love, you know? It's just a reality. This healing journey, while beautiful, has brought a lot of shit to the surface for me. And it has left me feeling more and more isolated at times. Like I said, in some ways by my own making, like, you know, making the choice to leave certain social media platforms, which was another interesting change, because I realized that not many people know how to have a conversation beyond like, look at this thing I saw, or like, here's this meme, haha, like, which is like cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, do people know how to connect beyond that? I'm like, and I don't know, because this is the other thing, is that I feel like I get this label put on me that I'm like so serious, or, you know, that I can't joke around and blah, blah, blah. And like, that's not the case. I definitely can. I'm actually a very silly person, but I'm just in the space that I am in my life. I am just looking to connect on a deeper level. Like, and especially because I'm not on social media anymore, I don't really want people sending me fucking memes all the time and like videos from social media. Like, I'm not on there by choice. Like, I am intentionally choosing not to engage with these platforms, and you constantly sending me things is like removing that choice for me, I feel like sometimes. And it's like, sometimes I find it hard to just be like, stop sending me this shit, but like, stop sending me this shit. Like, sometimes it's okay, but if it's like, I have some people that is like, literally, you go back and look at our texts, and it's just them sending me like nonstop, like, videos, photos from social media. And like, I'm not even responding. It's just like, I don't know, man. And that's on me, because I, you know, closed mouths don't get fed. And I clearly just need to say, like, I just need to set the boundary and be like, yo, I don't want to receive this anymore. But that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, like, this fucking healing journey, it's just like changed the way I'm able to engage with people and how I can show up for people too. You know, it's like these days people around me feel like foreign, you know, like friends and family, like people that I've known for a long time. Sometimes it's like they're reminders of my old life and my old self, and I'm trying so hard to move forward and like begin again. And it doesn't necessarily mean leaving everybody behind, but I need them to understand that I have evolved and I have grown, and, you know, this is just me now, you know. It just feels difficult. It feels difficult. Because it's like, I want to show up as my authentic self and like who I am now. But I kind of feel like it's not always well received. I was having this conversation with my therapist the other day, and I was telling her how I think, you know, a lot of people, friends and family alike, like maybe think that I'm like toxically positive. And what I mean by that is just kind of like, I'm always trying to look at the brighter side of things. I'm always trying to humanize people, or, you know, just, I don't know, shift my perspective so that shit isn't always bad. Like, I don't really have the energy to always just sit and talk shit or gossip or like complain about circumstances, because I have in the past, and I realize how that has left me feeling. And it's like, of course, I occasionally do still dabble in those things, but to do it constantly is just a no. Like, I don't think that people in my life sometimes understand that I have to be toxically positive. I fucking have to. Because if I am not, I will fall right back into a dark fucking hole. And I don't ever want to be in that place again. Like, ever. I don't give a fuck if that means that I have to be delusional. So be it. But I am never going back to that space. Ever again. But it's just, it feels like I'm like continuing the cycle of isolation, you know, like feeling like I have to protect myself from certain things and conversations and people. I don't know. I think that the level of support that I am seeking is just kind of like, I just want somebody to meet me halfway. Like, I understand people don't want to get deep all the time. That is completely fine. But I just want to be heard. I want to feel seen. I want to feel understood, you know? Like, another friend of mine, and like, even saying friend kind of is like difficult in this moment because I was really upset by this conversation, but like we were catching up like a couple weeks ago and I felt like the conversation was just like solely about her. Like the only things that I feel like she ever asked me was like my opinion on her situation, which is completely fine. But like, even when I try to mention something in my life that I'm excited about, you know, like for my birthday, I've planned this solo trip that I'm super excited about, you know, and I mentioned it, crickets, no follow-up questions, no nothing. The conversation literally went right back to her. And the only things that she ever asks me are like relationship type questions, because she yearns to be in a relationship and I was in my relationship for 5 years. But it's like, girl, there is so much more to me. Like, that's literally one of the reasons why I'm no longer in a relationship, is because I felt like that's all that I was at the time, was like my relation to this person. And I aim to be something so much more than that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying my best to create peace and safety in my own mind. And if it means I have to disengage with certain things and or create a sense of delusion, like I said, then so be it. But I'm just trying to figure out this balance of how to do that and keep the relationships with people I love. But sometimes I don't really know if that's possible. Thanks for listening.